Hi, this is Geoff Tate of Queensryche, and you're listening to Metal Wani.
Hello, Mr. Geoff Tate. Greetings from India.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Excellent. Excellent. Enjoying a sunny Seattle day.
Oh, wonderful. Well, to begin with, while writing Operation Mindcrime, did you ever believe it would strike such a massive chord with fans? To be hailed as one of the classics of our generations, 25 years since its release.
No, it was a record and an album really put together in a passionate way, and for me, that was the emphasis, and the direction was to get across this story that had been in my head for a while, and it's always a wonderful surprise when something that you create, clicks with an audience and becomes something that people hold dear.
Right.
And I'm always flattered and humbled by the way the album is perceived by other people, and it's always a pleasure to play it.
Absolutely. Live. Who were some of your favorite, earliest vocal influences?
Well, I grew up in that wonderful time of the 60s and the 70s,
right.
which was filled with wonderful songs and artists and bands, and the industry of rock music was really just beginning.
Right.
And so there weren't too many limitations on what people could do. And it was a very inventive, creative time where artists were mixing and putting together music that had all kinds of influences in it. And also the industry itself was set up differently, where you heard all kinds of different music. Like if you switched on the radio, you heard blues, you heard country music, you heard gospel, you heard classical, you heard jazz. There was so much music to be exposed to, that rock music naturally grew out of that.
Right.
And so I grew up listening to everything that was exposed to me, which was typically of those genres. So my background came from American rhythm and blues, with Otis Redding and Supremes, and even further back to Ella Fitzgerald and people like that in the jazz industry, Billie Holiday, this kind of music. And then as I discovered that and developed an appetite for music and found that it was something that was very inspiring to me, I started digging deeper and finding what was happening. And so I listened to everything that was on the radio at the time too, everything from Alice Cooper to the Doobie Brothers to Tom Jones. There's so many wonderful artists out there, and so all of those artists kind of work their way into my mind and my memory, and I still to this day pull from those influences.
That's wonderful. But who are some of your new vocalists whom you love listening to?
Well, typically I don't listen to music for a singer. I listen to music as a composition, as a songwriter. That's kind of where your ear goes,
Right.
And so I listen to things that that are a puzzle. Things that I can't figure out. Things that I can't figure out so easily always tend to inspire me and challenge me.
That's amazing.
Having written a lot of songs and been doing this for a long time, the more complex a musical piece is, the more interesting it is to me.
Exactly. Oh, well said. Now, my friends recently went on a tour in Australia, and on the other side on the bill there was a band called Crimson Fire, and they did a version of I Don't Believe in Love, which made the crowd go wild. what do you feel?
Right.
What do you feel when you think of a legacy you have left upon this music world?
Well, it's very flattering. It's a wonderful feeling when another band covers your music and plays it.
True.
That's kind of what musicians do. We're influenced by each other, and so I feel very proud. When a band plays my music.
Mm-hmm. That's absolutely true. Now, just to get this controversial query out of the way, recently you and your former bandmates have once again requested more time to hammer out a settlement in your legal battle. So, why was it being pushed?
Well, honestly, it's something I can't really talk about right now.
Okay.
I can say that we're in settlement negotiations right now, and I would expect that within a month or so, maybe two, the whole thing should be settled, and we can all go our separate ways and be happy.
Right. Now,
I'm looking forward to that too.
Right. And if you guys don't reach to an agreement during this month, then what do you think will happen? I mean, the 5-day non-jury trial will begin on April 7th.
I have all the confidence that we're going to reach a settlement.
Because you've been telling that if you lose, you'll win, or it's in your favor anyway. So you're just waiting for the paperwork to be dry.
Oh yes, I think we all are waiting for the paperwork to be dry, and so we can move on with our lives and be, on a different route.
Mm-hmm. Have you listened to the Todd Latore's Queensryche album?
No, I haven't.
Okay, and what are your thoughts on Todd Latore as a vocalist?
I don't have any comment.
All right. What's your reaction to your previous bandmates saying that you have chosen poorly your live musicians to carry on the Queensryche's legacy?
I don't really have a comment on that. I think that's pretty much evident by anybody who sees us live.
Right.
You can see that there's a wonderful camaraderie within this band, and we are having a great time playing the music, and the audiences are having a great time as well.
True. I personally loved the single which came out from your album, Frequency Unknown. Were you bothered about somewhat of a lukewarm reception you got from the album?
Well, no, because I don't actually pay attention.
Okay, and why do you think it wasn't received as well as you wanted it to?
I didn't have any expectations as to how it would be perceived or taken. In my experience, having released many albums over time, I've learned that it doesn't really do me any good to put expectations on how other people perceive music, because we all perceive it differently.
Absolutely.
We all take it differently.
Right.
We're all in different places, emotionally and mentally and physically, and music is a very intimate journey.
Right.
And a very intimate experience. And so you can't expect everyone to feel the same way about your music as you do.
Right.
So honestly, it's something I don't worry about. I don't really think about it.
Okay.
For me, it's an artistic achievement every time I complete a record and release it.
Right.
And for me, that's why I do it. I don't release an album in order to feed my ego or to flatter myself. I release a record because I feel strongly about making music. I'm a songwriter. That's what I do, and it's a wonderful thing when what you do connects with people.
Absolutely.
In a way that they find inspiring. And for me, that's enough. That's what I work for, is to first please myself, to make myself feel a level of completeness,
satisfaction,
by completing an imaginative idea.
Right.
And that's pretty much my direction.
That's wonderful, because I was about to point that out, that you have followed your own artistic vision instead of giving fans the same Queensryche sound over and over.
Yeah, it's kind of what I do,
completely agree with that. Now, you've said earlier that you enjoyed going out on your solo tour and doing those songs. Don't you think, you are in an incredible position right now where you can go out as Geoff Tate rather than Queensryche, to explore your creative side efficiently?
Yes, I agree that is a wonderful position to be in. Yeah. Well, I enjoy doing both.
Oh, that's great. Now, for you, the last 18 months have been a difficult time. I know you're looking forward to it being settled and move on. What are the upcoming plans?
Well, to be honest, the court case has created limitations on what I can and can't do, as well as the other band as well. So, once that's passed, then I can get on with my life and do the things that I want to do, and I can also talk about what I'm doing and what I want to do.
Right.
But at the moment, I can't really say much about the future. I have to wait till this is all finished.
Right. That's great. Now, even at the Frequency Unknown, there were a lot of guest appearances such as KK Downing, Chris Poland, and Brad Gillis. So, how did you, make sure, while composing, that all of them get their particular own zone to show off their skills?
Well, I never went into it with that sort of mindset. I pretty much worked to compose the songs and get them ready for the studio, and then it was a matter of listening to what we had to work with, and then picking the right person to play on that particular track.
Okay.
And that really is based upon knowing the people involved and what they have done,
right,
and what they're capable of doing, and then presenting them with the song and saying, "Is this something that you can work with?" And that plan worked really well. It was a wonderful experience working with all these different fine musicians, and
right,
and hearing their interpretation of the song. Because as a writer, you have an idea of what you're trying to accomplish, and you have a goal in mind, in writing the song. And then you have to be able to stand back from it and say to another musician, "Okay, so here's what I've come up with. Now, can you add to this?
Right.
Is it something that you feel you can wrap your head around, and this would be something that would be interesting or challenging for you to
exactly
contribute to?"
Right.
And I really enjoyed the collaboration with everyone.
Right. That's wonderful. So when can we expect a Geoff Tate and DeGarmo song in a similar vein in the future?
I don't have any expectations on that. No. Now Chris, he pretty much quit the music business, and he's not active in it anymore.
Right. So what are the chances of you visiting to India in the near future?
I've always wanted to come to India, actually. I would say in the next few years, would be a definite possibility.
Wonderful. There are enormous number of fans here in India who to be precise, I would say worship Queensryche. So it will really be awesome to have you guys here, and it'll really be interesting.
What cities do rock bands normally tour in?
Most of the rock and the metal bands tour Bangalore.
Bangalore?
Yes. So it's been happening from past 4 or 5 years, and we see close to 10-20 bands touring from last 2-3 years. So the scene is improving here, and looking forward to see you guys here.
That would sure be wonderful. I've always wanted to travel in India. It's one of the places that I have a want to see, and I know a little bit about Indian history, and of course the religious aspect of it. I'm aware of, and we in the United States, we have kind of a limited experience with India.
Right.
I would say in kind of an overall sense that it's a place that's sort of magical in people's imaginations.
Right.
So yeah, for me, it's on my what they call the bucket list of things that I'd like to experience.
That's wonderful. Now you've been on stage for close to 3 decades, and gone are the days you used to see fans raising their horns for your music. Now these days it's all about tablets and cameras and cell phones. So how does it feel to be on stage and you see a sea of cell phones taking photographs?
Well, what I've learned in life is that nothing stays the same.
Right.
And it's probably a good thing that we keep changing and trying new things and experiencing, different technologies, that kind of thing. And I appreciate that and respect that and accept it, really. I do think that if you're watching a show, I think that you miss out. You miss something that's very unique about a live presentation.
Right.
There's something that is very ancient, about the relationship between music and human beings. It's something that's been developed, from our earliest, history.
Exactly.
People have used music, to communicate with, and I think you miss out on that communication, that deeper connection to the musicians, to the music, to the audience. You miss out on that if you are staring into a camera throughout the show, And I really hope that people come to understand that and, take that 2-hour time when they're at a concert to put the camera away.
Right.
It's fine taking a few snapshots, but don't watch the whole show through a camera lens.
Right.
Watch it with your own eyes and experience it, because it's so much more fulfilling,
Absolutely. So, in conclusion, how do you think the music world has been handling 2 Queensryches from past 1 year?
Well, I suppose, okay. It seems to be going fine,
Right.
Which is great. There's people that are just catching on to the fact that the band split up,
Yes.
and they find it kind of shocking, but I think most people are intelligent enough to explore the 2 different situations and find the one that speaks to them,
Right.
The most personally. And that's all I could ask is follow your passions, follow your heart, and find what it is you like about a certain band or a certain music, and have at it.
Exactly. Now, there was also a lot of confusion which happened because there were 2 Queensryches. So, since you guys were on tour, there was a lot of confusion that which Queensryche are we going to witness? Is it the Geoff Tate's one or the Toddler Toys one?
Yeah, unfortunately, that's sort of unavoidable confusion.
Right.
I know on our side we've been trying to explain as best we can, given the tools that we have to work with. But again, in this day and age of the internet, you can pretty much research anything and get kind of an idea on what is,
Exactly.
So I think people make up their own choices, and they research things to find out what they need to know.
Exactly, right. Now, I would end the interview on a very small note. I know this is going to be a difficult question, but how would you sum up your, this entire 3 decades of journey in just one sentence?
That is a difficult
Exactly.
question to answer. Well, I would say that it's been a fantastic journey of enlightenment. I feel very fortunate that I've been able to explore my passions and my creativity and have it so widely accepted.
Right.
That's a wonderful thing that I feel very fortunate to be part of.
Wonderful. Geoff, Thank you so much. This is your space. Anything you would like to say to your fans in India? Shoot.
I would say thank you for finding. I would say thank you for discovering the music, and thank you for the support of the art. And I hope to come to India in the near future.
Wonderful. It's been an honor. You've spared your precious time with us today. Thank you so much, Geoff.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. Good talking with you, and I hope we can speak again.
Yes, for sure.